Welcome to Self with Savannah. I have an episode for you about self worth. I feel so passionate about this because knowing my worth, believing in my worth, has been the most life changing thing for me. And that may sound dramatic, but it is true because I have learned that it is the foundation for literally everything in your life. And your self worth affects you every single day in ways that you may not even be aware of. And so it's been one of the biggest and most challenging lessons that I've had to go through so far. And I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm here is to go through the challenges, learn the lessons so that I can share them with you guys to help improve your lives. So what I realized was that for a long time, I was basing my worth, my value off of everything outside of me. Relationships, money, career, success, accomplishments. And the way that the universe taught me this lesson was by taking literally everything away. Stripping me down and taking everything that I once knew and that I was unconsciously holding my worth and my value in, and it took all of that away from me. And it left me with none of it. And I can see clearly now that the reason why that happened was because the universe was like, okay, I'm taking all this away from you, and you need to start believing and understanding that your worth comes from none of this. It has to come from within you. You decide your worth, nobody else does. And I think it's very common for us to be taught that as women, our worth comes from how much we give and that it has to be earned or we have to prove our worth. And that's just so not true. The second that you were born was the second that you were enough. Period. End of discussion. Because you are a human, you are a soul living here on earth, that means that you are enough. And that is never going to change. And nobody or nothing can ever take that away from you. You get to decide your worth, nobody else. And I think that it's very easy to have this mindset of, oh, when I get this, then I'll finally feel like I'm enough. When I accomplish this, then I'll be worthy. When I get in the relationship or when I get married, that's when I'll be complete. That's when I'll be whole. When I get X amount of followers, then that means I'm good enough. It doesn't work like that unless you decide it to work like that. And I would highly recommend to start shifting it. And that's what I'm here to help you do. Because the moment that those things, any of those outside things, again, whether it's relationship status, money, career, accomplishments, the number of followers that you have, the number on the scale, what your appearance looks like, the moment that any of those things either get taken away or you don't see them as perfect, it's going to make you feel like shit about yourself. It's going to make you feel worthless because you were putting all of your value as a human in those things. And it's the same with relying on other people's validation or approval or acceptance, or for somebody to tell you, oh, yeah, you're good enough, you're valuable. When you're relying on that external validation, the moment that somebody has an opinion of you that isn't maybe positive, or the moment that somebody has a judgment about you, or doesn't like you, or misunderstands you, you are going to feel really not good about yourself because, again, you're putting your value in the hands of other people. You're allowing other people to tell you how to feel about yourself. And if that's where you're at, that's okay. I get it. Trust me. I've been there. But it's time to start shifting that. It's time to start taking your power back and believing in your own worth. Understanding that you don't need anything outside of you to be enough. Right here, right now, you are worthy as you are. You deserve to live a life that you fucking love. You deserve to live your dream life. You deserve to have everything you could ever want in your lifetime. And don't let anybody else tell you differently, because you get to decide your worth. You get to choose whether or not you are going to believe in your value. And something I want to note is that, of course, outside things can affect how we feel, right? Like our relationships, our environment, money, and so on. They can affect how we feel in our lives, but they don't determine our worth. There's a big difference in that. When you decide that your worth is determined by you and only you, when someone else chooses not to see your worth or your value, you don't take that as a reflection of what you are, because you understand that how they see you is not a reflection of yourself, because you are solid in who you are. You know your worth. And when you start believing in your worth, it doesn't fluctuate. It's there, it's your inner foundation. And so when other people, say something about you, you understand, okay, that person may not understand me. They may have a judgment about me that I know isn't true, because I know my worth and that isn't me. And you understand that other people respond to you the way that they respond to themselves, right? If somebody chooses not to love themselves, how can they love you? If somebody can't see their own worth, how can they see yours? If somebody can't choose themselves, how can they choose you? And so having that knowing, that strong inner foundation that your worth does not fluctuate, it's there and it's not going anywhere, then you simply just stop caring about what other people think about you, because you know it's not a reflection of your worth, of your value, because you know your value, you know your worth, and that is all that matters. And also, it is such an energy leak when you are constantly turning outward and relying on other people's validation to affirm to you that you are valuable, that you are enough. You're constantly leaking your energy when you do that. So, what we're doing here today is we're patching up those energy leaks, and you're at the beginning of starting to believe in your worth, to know that you are enough exactly as you are right now. So, how you can start doing this in your life is ask yourself, what would the version of me who already believes in her worth be doing? How would she be showing up in her daily life? How would she speak to herself? How would she act towards other people? What would she believe to be true about herself? What type of standards does she have? Is she overgiving and abandoning herself? And that last one was a big one for me. And it's something that I feel like I'm finally starting to get good at, is to stop abandoning myself. Because if you have been a people pleaser, it can feel quite uncomfortable to say no to things, right? Because you're so used to saying yes out of obligation and allowing this fear of disappointing others to control your life. And so when you start practicing believing in your worth, knowing your worth, that means that you stop abandoning yourself to try to please everyone else around you and to try to make other people comfortable. You stop shrinking yourself and dimming yourself down to try to make other people comfortable. Think about it. Somebody who knows her worth, she's not afraid to be fully herself. She speaks to herself with love and kindness, even when she's not around people. That's something to really think about. Check in. How are you speaking to yourself in your everyday life when nobody else is around? Are you speaking to yourself with kindness and compassion? Are you speaking to yourself like you're somebody that you love? Somebody who knows her worth. She has standards. She doesn't settle for less than she deserves. She doesn't spend time and surround herself with people who are constantly draining her energy and don't make her feel good and uplifted and supported. She does not tolerate other people's shitty behavior towards her. She allows herself to take up space. And the biggest act of somebody who knows her worth is allowing herself to build a life that she loves. She is creating her life her way. She's not following all of the outside rules and other people's opinions and societal pressures. She's not following how other people say that she should live her life. She's living her life her way because she knows that she deserves to live her dream life. She is not following anybody else's timeline. She's living her life her way because she knows that she deserves to feel so lit up in her life. So start training yourself to believe that you are enough exactly as you are. Every day, start practicing that. Start acting as if you are somebody who believes in her worth. Because that version of you who already does, who already knows she's worthy, she's still in there. She's within you. It's just about allowing her to come to the surface. Some affirmations that you can start repeating to yourself is I am worthy. I am enough exactly as I am. Nothing outside of me determines my worth. I am valuable because I am me. And you don't have to be perfect at this, right? It takes practice, it takes time. But I really encourage you to start training yourself, start practicing it, because I promise you it will change your life. Like I said, it is the foundation for everything. So stop trying to shrink yourself to be digestible or to be liked. Let go of this need, this desire to be liked by everybody or to be understood by everybody. You didn't come here to try and be accepted by everyone. You came here to be you. And not everybody is going to like that. And that's okay because it is not a reflection of your worth. You are enough exactly as you are, and that's never going to change. You get to start believing in your worth right now. And I'm so stoked for you to start practicing this and embodying this because I'm telling you, your life is going to change. So I'm going to leave the episode there. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want even more support with this, I actually have an entire workshop inside Self, my monthly membership, that goes so much more in depth on this topic. So I'll leave the link to that in the description below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye!